Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing? So, as a lot of you probably already know at this point, it's been 2 days now. I'm just a little late making this video, just time issues. But as you know, Sam Neill recently passed away. It's 1947 to 2026, and passed away surrounded by family, the usual story that you hear, so and so surrounded by loved ones, etc. I believe he was in a hospital, but he had just finished fighting lymphoma. Oh my goodness, I forgot it. I got it here. I was looking it up, but uh, lymphoma. That's what I was trying to say. I just couldn't get the word out properly. And but apparently he was cancer free at the time of his death. So I mean, it could have just been his time. He was 78 years old. Uh, by a lot of today's standards, that's not considered really old. I really hope to pass that age myself. Um, but yeah, so it was it's still pretty sad if you were a fan, especially if you're familiar. Obviously, everybody's familiar with Jurassic Park films. That's where I think most of us were introduced to him first to begin with, because that's I didn't even know he was Australian after seeing that film. I think a lot of people in the West probably had no knowledge because he wasn't really well known yet in Canada, the U.S. You know, but I also know him. The three movies I know him best from, well, the Jurassic Park, two of the Jurassic Park films anyway, and In the Mouth of Madness, which I think came out the same year as Jurassic Park or a year later, and Event Horizon, which is kind of a sci-fi thriller. I guess sci-fi horror. He's actually a villain in that film, so it's kind of an interesting twist. And he's using his natural voice. So if you've only known him for Jurassic Park, watch that film. It's a good movie anyway. I mean, dated CGI aside, it's still a pretty decent film. Um, but yeah, I was a little bit sad when I found out he had passed away. But so yeah, if you're a fan of Sam Neill and you have any stories or any movie ideas, suggestions for other fans, myself included, just drop them in the comments below. And I do have one interesting story. When they were filming In the Mouth of Madness, some of it, or possibly all of it, I don't know. I saw the movie a long time ago, and I did think it was a pretty good film. Should revisit it again. But it was being filmed around Toronto area, and some of it was being filmed in Markham, which is a small city just east of Toronto. And there was a bar just up the street from where the shithole restaurant I was working in. But sorry, it was a lot of. I was there 6 years. A lot of bad memories in that restaurant. A lot of good ones, but a lot of bad ones. But anyway, that's I've talked about that in other videos. But a guy I knew back then was in this. There was a pub a couple doors up that we used to go to a lot, and Sam Neill came in after filming, just casually walked in, wasn't surrounded by an entourage, wasn't acting like Mr. Important. I'm a movie star. Just came down, sat a couple seats over from the guy I knew. I can't remember his name. He was an older guy. I don't want to say we were friends per se because he was like my age now then, and I was only in my 20s. Or no, he was about in his 40s, I guess, at the time. He was, but anyway, he was a nice enough guy. He owned a coffee shop. That's how I knew him. But I had beers with him every once in a while because we went to the same pub in the same area, and his coffee shop was on the same street. But anyway, Sam Neill just came in, sat down two seats from him, and he looked over and realized who he was, and he just like, what? Like, and he said, "Aren't you the guy from Jurassic Park?" And he said, "Yeah, that's me." And the first thing, right, he was just like, "Wait, what?" Because like most people, he didn't know he had this thick Australian accent, and he just kind of looked at him and he's like, "And I'm Australian." And then they just sat and chilled for about an hour, had a couple beers, and then Sam Neill shook his hand and went on his way and didn't make. I think he signed an autograph. It was before cell phones and things were like smartphones. It was the old school cell phones that most of them didn't have cameras on them at the time. But signed an autograph, and maybe took a picture with an actual camera, and went on his way. And it's kind of a cool story. I wish I could have been a part of it, because that would have been really cool to meet Alan Grant. Like, being Jurassic Park being one of my favorite films of all time, like that style science fiction adventure type films. And I think that would have been really cool to meet him myself. But I heard all around he was a pretty decent guy. He was not. You never heard any controversial stories or anything like that. He just happened to be a movie star that did well for himself and just lived a normal life for the most part. So rest in peace, Sam Neill, and my heart goes out to the family and the fans out there. So if you're, like I said, if you're a Sam Neill fan, you want to comment below and tell me how you felt when you heard that he passed away, or even if this video is the first time you're hearing about it. Yeah, just drop a comment. I'm really curious. Um, if you want to also subscribe, I'll make up to 1,000 subs, whatever, like that's kind of nice too. But this video, I'm more focusing on the loss of Sam Neill than my own video agenda, I guess. But anyway, if you watch this, thank you so much, and like, comment, and blah 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 blah. You know the drill. But yeah, please tell me how you felt about it and what your favorite Sam Neill film is. Mine is always going to be Jurassic Park. It's just how it is. But I should visit more of his library and maybe have a different opinion. Anyway, thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Sam Neill, and until the next one.